What up, what up? This is Gemstones, representing Gemstones for life, and you are in the field with Trackstarz.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Rachel, Seantana, DJ Jeremiah. All right, it's time for Noteworthy. Before we get going with this Noteworthy, I wanted to read a Noteworthy follow-up that we got, like we announced a couple weeks ago. If you already did a Noteworthy and you want to follow up with us and let us know how it went, if you took our advice, if you didn't take the advice, whatever, so let us know. So this one came from, we did it a couple weeks ago, called Still Bleeding. I don't know if y'all remember that one. They said, "Hey Trackstarz, your advice was really helpful. Thank you. Just the fact that you all care enough to respond has reminded me that not everyone's like the people I'm surrounded by right now. There are other Christians out there that will be able to help grow me in this walk. I want you to know that I really consider you all family. Thank you for reminding me that I'm not alone. As I expressed in my earlier letter, I often feel invisible, so getting advice from you was a huge encouragement. Of course, the issues I mentioned in the Still Bleeding note was only the tip of the iceberg. There is a lot more to my story, and if I ever find the strength to tell it, it will be through you guys, though it's something I would rather keep to myself and pretend never happened. It can encourage someone else facing similar trials. As of right now, my different problems and issues are still here, but I'm working on having a more positive attitude. Your genuine concern for my well-being has given me a reason to fight for joy. Your advice will be on repeat until I graduate next year." So that was the response for the Still Bleeding Noteworthy we did a few weeks ago. So we appreciate that follow-up, and everybody else, make sure you follow with us. Let us know how it's going. This one is something we've talked about a lot in the past, and we wanted to kind of give it a rest because we didn't want to keep beating up on this, because I think a lot of people may start to feel like, why are they always talking about this? I'm struggling with this. Why don't they talk about some other stuff? So we did for a while, but somebody sent in a Noteworthy, so we're gonna do it. All right, this one is called Homosexuality. It says, "Can you please make a video about homosexuality? I know that it is wrong and that it's a sin and that God doesn't like it. And I know that we should love the people but hate the sin. So we should love homosexuals but hate homosexuality because it is a sin. Because if I would hate homosexuals, I would have to hate my friends and even myself too, because I sin and they sin too." I had a discussion about this with some friends of mine, and one of them told me I should watch the film Prayers for Bobby. And she gave me the film, and I told her that it wouldn't change my mind, and I watched the film and it didn't. But how can I argue and respond to this? Can you make a video about this subject? This one is called Homosexuality.
Okay, I'm confused. Is he or
No.
they?
No.
They're not.
No.
Okay, so why did he even want to watch the movie?
Because I guess he has friends that were debating with him, and they told him, if you watch this movie, it'll change your mind and you'll think homosexuality is good.
Got you.
So he wants to know what to say to somebody if he's witnessing to somebody or debating with somebody who is dealing with homosexuality. And he brought up this movie, Prayers for Bobby. And I don't know who's seen it. I watched a little bit of it, and the gist of it so far is basically there's a boy that was struggling with homosexuality. At the beginning, you see him kissing a girl, and he's not really feeling it, and he breaks up with her, and you see him watching gays porn on the screen and struggling with his feelings. So his parents tell him you need counseling, or you need to go to church and get use religion to get it out of your system. And he tries that, and I think at some point he ends up committing suicide. Wow. So the person, I think his dad or something started, or his mom started to become like a gay rights crusader, that kind of thing. So basically, I think a lot of people use this movie to say, Christianity doesn't work, counseling doesn't work, this is just who you are, just accept it, blah blah blah, right? So how do you respond to somebody who is dealing with this and they don't see it as something wrong, homosexuality? Now, of course, we played the song by Bizzle, The Response to Same Love, which talked a lot about what we talked about during his dissect of Same Love.
Yeah.
So what do you think? How would you respond to somebody who's arguing with you about homosexuality and how God sees it?
I think, first off, everybody gonna agree about what we saying? I always say that because I don't want us to be saying something and everybody like, that's just how Ryan Righteous feel. That's how I'm trying to
I'll let you know if you say something different.
I'm letting you know.
Say what you want to say and I'll say something different.
Oh, okay. That's fine. All right. So, Okay, so you can go from two perspectives. You can go for somebody can easily say, okay, they're born that way. That's why we need Christ so he could change us. But from somebody else, somebody could say, from somebody who's very spiritual, they could say that's a spirit on somebody, because I've heard that as well. So I think the thing is that it really does take Christ for you to not get into your flesh, to your desires, to desire. Now, if you're a Christian, and if you're a Christian and you're struggling with homosexuality, that's what that is. Because kind of like what Bizzle said, like he said, I have desires to sin too. I can't give in to them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think. I'm giving into those desires to be like saying, I don't want to sleep with another man. You know what I mean? Those desires of lusting or anything like, you know what I'm saying? So don't give in to those desires. And that's what I feel, man. Like I think from that standpoint, it's like from any temptation that you have. Now, for people who say I'm born this way, then I guess that's what you could say about, like, that's what Jesus Christ is for, because everybody's born in sin. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
Yeah, I think the big argument here is the movie is basically saying that the response of the church trying to change him or to fix him in a way is what drove him to suicide. Now, that's a fair statement, and I think from my point of view, there's two schools of thought that need to change. It's not just the person that's struggling with homosexuality that needs a thought change. It's also the Christians who think homosexuality is nasty or icky. I think people who think that they have a bad idea of it as well. There's a lot of Christians who they don't come from a biblical perspective on homosexuality. They just come from how could you do that? It's just nasty, and that's fine. I mean, that's your opinion, but obviously this person doesn't think it's nasty, so you can't. That's not a good argument for them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I just think that people need to understand that there is a difference between godly approaching this topic and just talking about it as just a secular person that just thinks it's nasty. So anyway, so the point of this is just lean on the Bible with this. There's a lot of things that you can go through in your life that you could struggle with sin wise. Bizzle song is a good outlet. But yeah. So we dealing with some stuff in the studio right now. That's why I'm struggling with this conversation. So pray for the Trackstarz right now. Got some issues. But anyway, so hopefully this may be an attack on what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just this is interesting. Pray for the Trackstarz for real. Go ahead and leave, Miss Maya. Go ahead and leave. Pray for Miss Maya. She's not feeling well. But anyway, so hopefully you got the gist of what we're saying, is that this is a spiritual issue, whether you think you're born with it or not. Everybody is born into sin, and that's why you could be born again through Jesus Christ. So that's not an excuse. Just even if you were right about being born with it, it's not an excuse to continue in sin when you know God said it's not right. So look at it that way. Hopefully that'll change your heart about it. If not, you know what I'm saying, this is something everybody has to go through. Everybody has to decide whether they're going to serve God fully or they're going to make excuses about certain things in their life. Homosexuality is not the only thing people make excuses about. People make excuses about sex before marriage. People make excuses about adultery. People make excuses about any sin in the world. This has just become a very hot topic in our culture right now because it's had some legal implications as well. So that's why we talk about it so much. But any sin that you're struggling with, man, just remember that this is not an indictment. This is not you need to be fixed. This is nobody can fix you. Only Jesus can. Only Jesus can replace your life. The pastor can't fix you. A counselor can't fix you. This is not about being fixed. This is about surrendering your life to Jesus Christ and letting him do the work. And it's not willpower that's going to get you out of the sin.
So give an example of, for some people that could say, I tried Jesus. Just being honest. Like some people could say, I tried I tried prayer, I tried everything, and these desires are it is what it is now. You know what I'm saying? I tried Christ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you say to somebody like that? Even from a standpoint, not even from a homosexual standpoint, from
anything. Yeah, I've heard that before. I've had a friend say, I tried. I went to God with this. At the end of the day, these are desires. Your flesh burns for sin. You know what I'm saying? So this is not something that you can just overcome. If you feel like you're failing at it, this is not like you need to try harder type situation. Yeah. That's why I don't want anybody to get. This is not just try harder. This is a complete surrender of your life to God. This is God, I need you to do this because I can't do it. This is not about how strong you are or anything like that. So I think it's a mind shift. It's understanding that this is a sin. This is a temptation. It's ravenous. Like it's not a gentle nudge. It is a insatiable desire for sin, whatever sin it is.
And let me ask you this question. Should we have compassion for those that are dealing with this issue? Because when someone explained it to me, I was just like, wow, I can't imagine living like that day to day. So basically, I had a friend who was deep into the church, deep into religion, like deep into the word of God. And this person wants to be a minister, right?
Yeah.
Really want to be a minister. But they are gay. And they believe that homosexuality is a sin.
Yep.
And they described what it's like walking every day denying yourself.
Yeah. Kind of like how it was when we can have sex before marriage.
Right, but that's something that was a little bit more...
Well, you see the outcome for that.
You see the end of the road.
Yeah.
But again, not always, because remember, I was at the point where I was like, I may never get married.
I mean,
am I going to be able to do this for the rest of my life?
You're different.
That's the commission. But that's what it was. I don't care how hard it is. But the thing is, at some point, I had to say, how can you look down on somebody who is dealing with homosexuality? It's the same issue.
But I think it's different because you are like, okay, for us, we're not walking every day seeing naked women in front of us tempting us about sex. You know what I'm saying? But they are actually seeing a face that they're attracted to in a crowd every day that they go out.
That don't make no sense, man.
It does make sense.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
You're saying that.
So you don't see a woman every day. That's what you're saying.
I do, but it's not in a sexual way. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same sexual way they see it.
No. When this person explained it to me, they basically were like, okay, so basically everywhere I look, I have the wrong feeling. But we don't have that feeling.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. The same desire you had to lust after women before you were married and have sex with them when you couldn't. It's the same desire.
No, it's not.
So you're saying that homosexuality is a stronger desire than your natural lust for another woman?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about attraction. Okay, so
that's what I'm saying.
Basically, I tried your method. When me and Sean first met and we were getting to be friends, Sean would take his glasses off because he always said he didn't want to see another woman that was more beautiful than his wife. And I thought, man, that is great. That is so awesome. And I tried that. I literally was having a problem where I was like looking at women trying to decide, okay, am I missing my wife? And I thought maybe I just need to remove myself from this temptation of to want to be and look at every woman to see if she's my wife. So I started walking with my head down so that I wouldn't look at women.
Right.
And that was the hardest thing for me. Because
so you're saying that their struggle is harder than that?
Yeah, because they are looking at somebody that they find attractive and they have that feeling that it's wrong.
In the same way you had to look down or take your glasses off.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
That only lasted for 2 days. It was too hard.
So but you don't make any sense. It's the same struggle you had. It's the same struggle.
It's the same struggle, but I don't have to do that now. I don't have to do that now, and I didn't have to do that then.
Right. That's
what I'm saying.
The biggest difference is
because I found what I was looking for.
Right. The biggest difference is that what somebody would say is at least you have a way out. At least you have a finish line to your struggle. Or what they would say is at least your struggle is socially acceptable.
Okay, I just thought about something. What if people who are trying to get married who are gay are doing it because they're Christian and they say, finally, I can get married and, this could be right before God.
I know somebody like that too. But that person also has told me, even though I'm married, I'm gay. and I've been married for 20 plus years.
No, that's not what he's saying.
No, I'm saying as two men saying
he thinks that if two men or two women get married, they feel like because they're married now it's
okay
acceptable
by God.
to God because they're married.
No, I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean? Like that's because going back to what you're saying, like waiting to marriage.
Yeah.
That's what
before they didn't have that outlet.
Yeah,
but now it's a possibility. So it may be a feeling like, oh, okay, if I get there, at least it'll be better than what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
it's possible. That's possible. But regardless, I'm not sure what you're saying, because to me, the same struggle you have looking at a woman is the same struggle somebody would have looking at another man, or if they're a woman looking at another woman.
I don't want to drag this on because I think that we're running out of time. But what I'm saying is, how would you feel knowing that everywhere you turn your eye, you're already doing something that you're not, that you feel is wrong?
I think
you
I see
got
what
it
you're
now.
saying.
Yes,
you're saying, but that's not true, because you lusting after another woman is the same problem.
So
you're saying that the fact that they twinge of attraction, but the attraction. This is the confusion. The temptation is not the sin. Just because you're tempted in homosexuality doesn't mean that you sin. The sin is when you give into it. Just because you're tempted doesn't mean you are a gay person.
It's different because this person is saying to me, every time I look at a man, I feel guilty and hate myself.
Well, that's the difference.
So every time I look at a woman, I don't feel that way because
But the reason you don't feel that way is because you're wrong. You should feel that way because
I'm not looking at a woman. I'm talking about like a lady who was waiting on me at the Popeyes.
If you feel attraction to her and you give into it and you lust in any form, it is the same problem as the person that looks at another man in a homosexual way and lusts after them.
Yeah,
it's
that's biblical what he's saying.
But they're not lusting after this person. Yeah. They're just seeing.
But that's what I'm trying to clarify. The temptation is not
that's different.
The sin.
Yeah, that's different. I'm talking about something. I'm talking about living that way.
But what I'm trying to tell the person you're talking about is the temptation that you have that, man, I may feel attracted to this guy is not the sin. The sin is when you go in your mind further than the temptation.
But they think that they believe being gay and being attracted to men is wrong.
Let me clarify this. Okay. This is my opinion.
Are you saying about the person you're talking about?
The person I'm talking about is telling me.
This is my opinion. And this is to me, this is why, and we're taking longer on this than we should. But this is why I think this is so confusing nowadays. I think people believe that you are gay or you are not gay. I do not believe that. I do not believe that somebody is a gay person. I think that is branded by LGBT, that you are gay or you are not gay. You are lesbian or you're not. You're transgender, you're this or that. And they branded it as a thing. It is not a thing and it has never been a thing. It is a sin and it is a temptation. It is not who you are. It is what you do. If you do it or you don't do it. Just because you're tempted to do it doesn't mean you are gay.
So basically you're saying it's a lifestyle. It's not who you are.
Because
a lifestyle could be changed.
It is a sin. It's always been a sin. It's not a thing. I think people have made it into a thing. Like you are a gay person. You are born gay. That is who you are. That is not true. It is a sin. Just like you can call somebody an adulterer, but what they are is a person who fell to adultery. They're sinning. That is all it is. And I think this branding of it, making it into a thing, makes people feel like they are some other kind of creature and you're other kind of person than I am. That's not true. You will fall to the same kind of temptations that I fall to, the same kind of temptation Ryan falls to. It's no better, it's no worse.
That's what Bizzle was saying.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I think the confusion is. You are not a gay person. You are a person who is tempted by homosexuality. I'm a person that's tempted by lust. Ryan's a person that's tempted by something like it's just a temptation to sin. Yeah. You can sin or you cannot sin. The temptation itself is not wrong. The action you do after the temptation comes is the sin.
Why are you smiling so hard?
Oh, because I just love these conversations stuff.
But you see what I'm saying? That's the confusion. If you are tempted by homosexuality, just because you see a person, you're like, man, I'm tempted to lust after this person. That is not the sin. The sin is when you say, well, I'm gay, so I'm gonna do it. That's the sin.
But that's not his problem, though.
What is his problem?
I'll tell you in the break. Because I'm telling you.
What am I missing?
No, I'm explaining it to you, but you're not getting it.
I think I get it. You think he says that because he even is attracted to the man, he feels dirty just by feeling attracted to the man, because he feels like he is off.
Right. But I'm just saying that's different from us staying away from temptation.
But
on
what
a daily
I'm saying
basis.
is the same feeling he has is the same feeling you should have when you look at a girl that way.
But I don't look at girls that way, so I don't have that problem right now.
What am I not saying it right? What am I saying?
I know what you're saying.
Y'all go back and forth.
No, it's great. It's great. But I'm saying, like, I guess you'd have to hear this person tell you.
I know what
how
he's
they
saying.
feel.
I get it. I get the point. The point is that
He's
because
being tempted.
your sin is socially acceptable, it is different than his sin in his heart, because even the hint of it feels wrong to him when it doesn't feel wrong to you. What I'm saying is it should feel wrong to you, and he needs to ease up on his own guilt in his mind and just avoid the sin. You know what I'm saying?
But see, he's never been sexually active with a man.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm getting.
Right, but what I'm saying is he hates himself when he sees a man, period.
What I'm saying to him is that he should stop hating himself for that and pray that God lets him overcome the temptation that he feels. The temptation is wrong. You need to start feeling wrong for anything that you're doing. Like, the levels need to flip. The straight man who thinks he could just look at women on TV and be like, oh, so and so is fine, that person needs to start feeling wronger. And the person who is tempted by homosexuality but overcomes it daily needs to start feeling good about themselves. Yo, I am killing this temptation right now. That's what I'm trying to say. Even it out. That is the person. Both of y'all are wrong. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man. Hopefully that helped, man. That was a lot longer than I thought it would go. But that's good. That's good. I
got a
get
lot
it.
of going on in this segment.
I get it. I get what you're saying. I get it. It's a socially acceptable part of the sin. That has nothing to do with Jesus. Just think about Jesus. What does Jesus think? Both sides. That's all you gotta think about. Don't worry about what anybody else says around you. Just deal with the sin and the temptation. Separate the two.
You think this is gonna make World Star?
I don't care.
This is definitely going to be a YouTube response video for sure.
It sure is.
For sure. Because
I don't care.
Sean put his points out there clear.
That's what I believe, man.
Clear.
Hey, come at me, yo.
They're coming at you. They're coming at you.
Come at me, yo.
This is FM radio. They're coming at you.
Anyway, man.
Chick-fil-A's in the... I'm joking.
That's right. True Academy, stand up.
I just want that to be clear, man. I think there's confusion on both sides of this issue.
true.
Christians need to get it straight. People who are dealing with homosexuality need to get it straight. Whether you're straight or gay, both of y'all are wrong. Get it right. Just go back to the Bible and read it. It's clear. That's it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Seantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
King without a crown.